Hey everyone, it's Desiree and we are here with day 12, almost halfway. Today's project is going to feature Newton's Nook. I fell in love with this stamp set and it is called Snowman Greetings. This is perfect size image just to add that little bit of color. If you're looking to test out a medium that you're interested in, so you can watercolor, use your alcohol inks, or your colored pencils, or any other medium you may have. For today, I will be using my polychromos to color my image, and the paper that I'm using to stamp my image on is the Strathmore Mixed Media Toned Tan. This is my go-to paper for any time I am using my colored pencils. It comes in toned blue, toned gray, white, black. I have found it in all kinds of colors, and it is the perfect weight for our card making. I'm using my Simon Says Stamp Intense Black. This is the perfect color now. If I could keep it like this, it would be awesome because it is running out of ink, so I need a new one. So when I do stamp, if I'm not doing no line coloring, I do like to use this pad because it's like a charcoal color. It goes a light gray, and I'm not crazy about too harsh of a black when I'm using my colored pencils. I'm going to start out by putting a light color down. I am going to show all of the coloring here, and because I'm coming out of my cold, I still have it just a little bit, so I do apologize for my voice. I'll be able to walk you through this. I do like to, when it comes to my colored pencils, I like to put down a light layer of the lightest color first, and then come in with a darker color to add my shadows and blend that out. Very rarely do I use any solvents when it comes to my colored pencils. I like to use the pencils themselves. Colored pencils, we work in layers. We don't want to apply a heavy layer right off the bat. What pulls the pigment off the pencil as you're working with them is the tooth of the paper. And this mixed media paper, while it feels smooth, does have a nice tooth that can allow you to build your layers up. Again, I start out with my lightest layer. I then come in with a mid-tone or the next darkest layer, and then if I have a third darkest layer, I'll come in with that and then work my way back up to the lightest layer again. That lightest layer is that layer that will do that blending, that will pull these colors together. Usually I like to use my Prismacolors. They are my go-to pencils. They are wax base and they are more opaque. I think they're also very creamy. When it comes to the polychromos, I like them. They are an oil-based, however. They do have a level of wax to them, but they are more translucent. You won't get a completely solid layer to that. And that's kind of why I chose them for this project. I wanted just some soft hues for this image, being for its size and its actual cuteness. So whether it's the oil-based pencils or the wax-based pencils, no matter what the set is, I use the same technique when it comes to colored pencils. So again, you can see I'm coming in with that lightest and then coming in with a darker shade to give that dimension, to make things look rounded, to apply that shadow when it comes to that image. I don't worry about a light source. Usually I always envision the lights coming in from the right to the left, and that's usually where I stay. Not everything looks like that, but it's not something that I focus on. When I'm using my colored pencils, I'm not going for what can be referred to as realism, to make it look accurate. I'm looking to enjoy the process and to just give that dimension to the image. So don't stress over this. Just have fun working with your colored pencils, putting different colors together. We also don't have to stay with all blue tones. We can apply a green layer and apply blue to that to give us our darker lines or our dimension. So have fun with your colored pencils and play with those mixture of colors to have fun adding the dimension to your piece. I do apologize, my voice is starting to go here, but I'm doing a lot of voiceovers right now because we are about to get hit with a storm and I'm just paranoid I'm going to lose power. So I want to make sure everything's ready for these to come out for you. Finally, I'm going to work on my piece of wood here. Now, what I did make sure that I did was for the sentiment that I put onto the wood panel, I kept that in my stamp positioning tool. When you go over these lines of your colored with your colored pencils, especially with your wax base, you will lose the definition of what you've stamped if you're not if you've used that black outline instead of working with a no line coloring technique. So instead of going around that sentiment to keep it crisp and clear, I'm just going to re-stamp that once I'm done coloring this piece. I did go over those lines in the wood with my colored pencils so that that can be the dimension. So I'm not looking to re-stamp the image, just the sentiment. Now I'm just going to come in with my darker brown underneath that snow cap that's sitting on there and at the bottom. And now I'm going to come in with some splatters. So I do apologize, I didn't zoom back out, but we don't lose too much of the image here. So of course, since this is a snow scene, now we kind of had a whiteout there going with the splatters, but that's okay. We're going to come in with a paper towel and we're just going to sop some of them up when it comes to those big droplets. So don't panic. It's okay. But we did have, just like, a 2 to 4 incher coming in with the snowstorm there. I'm going to use my Ranger heat tool just to dry them. And here I am re-stamping the sentiment so that that's just a little bit bolder. And I'm going to use my VersaFine black for that to make sure that it really stands out onto that image. Next, I'm going to come in with some white pigment ink just around the edges. For some reason, when it comes to the holiday cards, yes, I could have used vintage photo, but I tend to go towards the white pigment. It makes it look like a window, a frosted window, and I really like that effect. So here I have a piece of cardstock. This is from Birch Press Design, and it's got a wood grain to it. I'm going over it with some pumice stone distress oxide to just pull out that texture in the cardstock. I've then set some of my nested rectangles so that I could create a frame. Again, making it look like we're looking through a window. I'm going to come in with some double-sided foam tape so that this can be propped up above that image. Now you could certainly add some acetate to that, add some great mixture underneath this to make it a shaker, but I wanted to keep this when I do my colored pencils, I like it to be natural, to let those that image show through. I'm going to prep my standard A2 size card base. I keep a stack of 4 1/4 by 11 inch of white and ivory off to the side, and I just score that at 5 1/2. I'm going to take this panel and adhere it to the front. This will cover the front of the card panel, and I just added some iridescent jewels to the front, and now I'm going to come in with my black glaze pen to go over the coal for his buttons and his eyes, and also the eye for the cardinal to really help them to stand out. As always, I hope you enjoyed today's project. It is day 12 of the 2021 Christmas series. And again, today we featured Newton's Nook designs and the Snowman Greetings. As always, the products that I used, as long as they're available, will be listed down below. Remember, dig into your stash. That is what the theme is for this year for me. Take these techniques that I've shown you and apply them to what you already have. If you have any questions or comments, make sure you leave those down below and I will make sure I get back to you as soon as I can. Enjoy. I hope you're enjoying this time getting ready for the holiday season that is fast approaching. Enjoy this craft. Don't stress over it, and truly enjoy the process and know that the art you create is beautiful and unique. But always remember what's most important. Always be creative. Talk to you in the next video, guys. Take care.